Welcome, everyone. Today, we are diving into Microsoft Purview, the unified platform that powers data security, governance, and compliance across your entire Microsoft 365 ecosystem. In the modern, AI-driven workplace, data flows everywhere. Let's learn how to secure it. Let's get started. Let's set the stage by understanding the sheer scale of the modern data challenge. Your users are creating, sharing, and interacting with massive volumes of data across countless devices and applications. The old castle and moat security model relying solely on network firewalls is completely obsolete. Today, data itself is the perimeter. This is exactly where Microsoft Purview steps in. What is Purview? It is a unified, cloud-based platform designed to handle data security, governance, and compliance under one single pane of glass. Why is this integration so crucial? Because fragmented security tools create blind spots. By using Purview, you aren't just reacting to data leaks, you are proactively defining how data should be handled from the moment it is created until the moment it is deleted. Through the Purview portal, you will orchestrate everything from information protection to insider risk management. For our deep dive, remember that Purview doesn't rely solely on manual rules. It leverages massive machine learning engines to automatically discover and classify sensitive data across your entire digital estate. Look at the flowchart on your screen. This represents the unified architecture of Microsoft Purview. At the top, we have the central Purview portal, acting as the brain of your operations. It branches into three main pillars: data security, data governance, and risk and compliance. Under data security, you see information protection and data loss prevention. These tools lock down the data itself. Under risk and compliance, we have insider risk management and communication compliance, which monitor human behavior. Finally, under data governance, we have data lifecycle management, ensuring data doesn't overstay its welcome. Together, these form an impenetrable web of protection. Moving to our first specific capability, let's explore Microsoft Purview Information Protection. What exactly is it? It's the engine that allows you to discover, classify, and physically protect sensitive data. The absolute core of this feature is the sensitivity label. Think of labels as digital tags like general, confidential, or highly confidential. Why are these labels revolutionary? Because traditionally, security was tied to the storage location, like a secure folder. If a user moved the file, it lost its protection. With information protection, the security travels with the data. How is this achieved? As an admin, you design these labels in Purview. Your users can apply them directly in Word or Excel, or you can use auto-labeling rules to apply them instantly when sensitive info, like credit card numbers, is detected. Diving deeper, these labels do more than just categorize. They actively enforce deep encryption. If a file is labeled highly confidential, finance only, and it accidentally gets emailed to a vendor, that vendor will be cryptographically blocked from opening the file. Let's trace the life cycle of a protected document using this sequence diagram. The user begins by typing sensitive financial data into a Microsoft Word document. The M365 app communicates with Purview in the background, which instantly recognizes the data and triggers an auto-labeling rule. Purview pushes down the highly confidential label, applying strong encryption. Now, watch what happens when human error occurs. The user emails this document to an external user. When the external recipient attempts to open the document, the system checks for a decryption key. Because their identity isn't authorized by the label's policy, access is immediately denied. The data remains safe despite leaving the network. If information protection classifies the data, data loss prevention, or DLP, builds the walls to keep it inside. What is DLP? It is a robust policy engine that monitors and actively controls the movement of sensitive information. The basics involve continuous background scanning across Exchange emails, SharePoint files, Teams chats, and even local endpoints. We are looking for predefined sensitive information types, such as social security numbers, patient health records, or custom internal project codes. Why is this critical? Because accidental oversharing is incredibly common, and malicious exfiltration is a constant threat. How do you stop it? You build strict if-then policies. For example, if a user attempts to send a spreadsheet containing 50 credit card numbers to an external Gmail account, then automatically block the email and alert the security team. For our deep dive, realize that DLP doesn't just stop at the cloud. Endpoint DLP extends this exact same logic down to the physical hardware, allowing you to block an employee from copying a confidential file to a personal USB thumb drive. This flowchart demonstrates the real-time decision-making of the DLP engine. At the top, a user attempts to share a file. The action is immediately intercepted by the DLP policy engine. It scans the content and asks, does this contain sensitive info? If yes, it moves to the next condition. Is the recipient external? If both conditions are met, the engine routes to the block action node. It doesn't just silently block it, it branches out to generate an educational policy tip for the user explaining why the action was blocked, while simultaneously firing an incident alert to the IT administrator. This is automated, intelligent governance. We spend so much time worrying about external hackers, we often ignore the threat already inside the building. This is where Microsoft Purview Insider Risk Management comes in. What is it? It's a sophisticated solution that uses behavioral analytics and machine learning to detect internal threats. At a basic level, it watches for anomalous behavior, things like an employee suddenly downloading thousands of files from SharePoint at 3 a.m. Why is this essential? Because an external firewall is completely useless against a disgruntled employee who already has valid login credentials. How does it work? It becomes incredibly powerful when you integrate it with your HR system. If HR logs that an employee just submitted their 2-week resignation notice, Insider Risk Management elevates their monitoring profile. If that same user starts transferring files to a personal cloud drive, the system instantly flags it as a critical risk. For the deep dive, this tool is built with strict privacy standards. To prevent workplace bias, investigators initially see alerts under pseudonymized names like user. The true identity is only revealed when severe risk is formally confirmed. Let's observe how Insider Risk Management correlates disparate data. On the left, we have two distinct signals. The first is an HR signal indicating an employee's resignation. The second is an M365 signal showing a sudden mass download of files. Individually, these might be benign, but they flow into the Insider Risk Engine, which correlates them and generates a high-risk score. This score triggers an anonymized alert to the security team. Only after the investigation confirms malicious intent does the system move to the final node, revealing the user's identity and automatically blocking their access to prevent data theft. While DLP focuses on data files, Microsoft Purview Communication Compliance focuses on the actual conversations happening in your organization. What is it? It's a tool designed to minimize risk by detecting inappropriate messages, harassment, or severe regulatory violations. The basics involve continuously scanning both text and images across Exchange email, Microsoft Teams chats, and Viva Engage. Why do we need to police communications? Firstly, to foster a safe, respectful, and inclusive workplace environment. Secondly, to ensure strict adherence to legal regulations, such as preventing the unauthorized sharing of undisclosed financial data before an earnings call. How is it deployed? Admins leverage pre-built machine learning classifiers that are trained to understand the nuanced context of harassment, threats, or regulatory collusion. Going into the deep dive, attackers and bad actors often try to bypass text filters by taking screenshots of sensitive data. Communication compliance includes advanced optical character recognition, or OCR, meaning it can literally read the text inside a shared image and flag the violation instantly. This visual outlines the communication compliance workflow. Data from a Teams chat or email flows into the communication compliance scanner. The machine learning engine operates in the background. If it detects toxic behavior like harassment or regulatory issues like financial collusion, it flags the content. It does not automatically delete it. Instead, it routes it to a designated compliance investigator for human review. If the investigator confirms the violation, they have the power to instantly remove the message from the platform and escalate the incident directly to HR or legal for disciplinary action. Now we address the newest and most rapid shift in enterprise technology, artificial intelligence. Microsoft Purview provides Data Security Posture Management, or DSPM, specifically for AI. What does it do? It provides absolute visibility and control over how sensitive data interacts with AI systems like Microsoft 365 Copilot. The basics involve discovering what content is being generated by AI, analyzing the prompts users are submitting, and ensuring sensitive data is not being overexposed. Why is this critical right now? Because generative AI is incredibly powerful. If permissions are loosely configured, a user might ask Copilot to summarize a highly confidential HR document, inadvertently exposing salaries. DSPM prevents this. How? By monitoring Copilot's data access patterns in real time and automatically applying the parent document's sensitivity label directly to the newly generated AI summary. The deep dive capability is stopping shadow AI. DSPM actively tracks if unapproved, non-Microsoft AI applications are attempting to extract data via APIs, giving you the immediate power to sever their access. Let's visualize how DSPM secures the AI experience. When a user prompts Copilot, the request doesn't go straight to the language model. It hits the DSPM evaluation engine first. The engine checks the underlying data permissions. If the requested data is highly confidential, DSPM dynamically enforces that exact same label onto the AI output. This ensures the newly generated AI summary is fully encrypted before it even reaches the user's screen. Notice the bottom branch. If DSPM detects an unauthorized shadow AI app attempting to scrape data, it instantly blocks the API access, maintaining your secure boundary. Our final core capability is Microsoft Purview Data Lifecycle Management. What is it? It's the suite of tools that automates the retention, archiving, and permanent deletion of data across your entire environment. The basics are simple. You need to keep what you legally must, and permanently destroy what you no longer need. Why is this a security issue? Because data hoarding is a massive legal and security liability. If you are breached, keeping 10-year-old financial spreadsheets just in case gives the attacker more data to steal. Furthermore, it drives up your storage costs. How do you govern this? You use retention policies to govern entire SharePoint sites or Exchange mailboxes, and retention labels to govern specific, high-value files. For example, a policy that automatically deletes all Teams chat messages after 30 days. For the deep dive, you must understand legal holds. If your company is sued, an admin can place an e-discovery legal hold on a user. This hold overrides every single deletion policy, guaranteeing that critical evidence is immutably preserved for court. This state diagram perfectly maps the governed lifecycle of enterprise data. It begins when data is created and moves into active use. Based on Purview policies, it enters the retention period active state, where it is protected from accidental deletion. Once that timer expires, it moves to a disposition review, where a manager approves its transition to permanent deletion, safely destroying the asset. However, look at the override path. If litigation occurs, the data is pulled into a legal hold state, freezing the timer and preventing deletion until the legal matter is officially resolved. To bring all these concepts together, let's look at a highly important, real-world use case. Imagine a pharmaceutical company developing a top-secret new drug, codenamed Project Apollo. We use Purview to build an impenetrable defense. Step 1. We use information protection auto-labeling. Anytime a user types the word Apollo in a document, Purview instantly applies a highly confidential label and encrypts it. Step 2. We configure a data loss prevention policy. If an employee tries to drag an Apollo document into their personal Google Drive, DLP instantly blocks the upload. Step 3. Insider risk management is monitoring behavior. It flags a user who recently received a poor performance review and is suddenly attempting to download 500 Apollo files to their hard drive, alerting security immediately. Finally, Step 4. DSPM for AI ensures that if an unauthorized user asks Microsoft 365 Copilot, "What is Project Apollo?" Copilot refuses to answer and protects the data boundary. The result is a unified, automated defense posture that protects your most critical intellectual property. This final diagram represents the synergy of Microsoft Purview. The Project Apollo data at the top is immediately processed by information protection, applying base encryption. From that secured state, the data flows through 3 continuous enforcement checkpoints: DLP blocking external uploads, insider risk monitoring for mass downloads, and DSPM restricting unauthorized AI access. All of these protective measures funnel into our ultimate objective at the bottom, a state of comprehensive zero-trust data security. You are no longer relying on isolated tools. You have an intelligent, integrated data defense platform.
To find related ebook and other material for this training course, go to quicktechie.com. Now you will see all the video courses are available here. So let's move to the ebooks. You can go here, ebooks, all AI related ebooks, like you are watching currently mythos related training. That ebook would be uploaded under this section. You can download this ebook. PDF would be available, all 300-page PDF. So you just click on the download this entire ebook. You can download from this section. So whatever training you are currently listening, corresponding ebook would be available. We have thousands of ebooks available. Now, other than that, we have on video courses which you are watching right now. This also all AI related courses are available. Similarly, for all company related trainings are available, like Microsoft, you can find it here with their respective certification training modules. All exam simulators, which would help you to get the certification preparation. Just refresh if you get this kind of error. Okay, so now you can see these are all certification preparation materials. Will also be click here to the NVIDIA certification preparation material. So you can see all NVIDIA certification preparation materials. And click on any of this and it would load the entire screen and you can launch the practice paper. So this is what you can see, that you can submit the answer. We have an audiobooks available. Okay, so for each section, and these are our alumni who can you can find out all alumni who are accessing our portal.